our next story, the REM, of course, now up and running. It's been days since we heard anything was not going well, which is good news. But you may remember that the REM officially branded itself as fully accessible. But now it's up and running, and some users say that is simply not the case. Julien Gascon-Samson is using a motorized scooter to get around, and he says the trek for him to get to work on the REM is, and I'm using his words, officially impossible. He's on the line right now. Julien, thanks for being here. Tell me what officially impossible, what you mean by that and why.
Well, it's my pleasure. So, it's completely impossible because the REM launched on July 31st, and since August 6th, it's been completely impossible to get to the REM because the elevator at Central Station is out of service. So it hasn't been fixed in over 2 weeks and a half. So it's the only station in Montreal, in downtown Montreal. So there's no other place to go. So it's just impossible for me who lives in Nuns Island. In fact, I moved to Nuns Island. One of the reasons I moved there was to be able to take the REM almost every day to go to work. And it has just been impossible for the past 2 weeks and a half.
Okay, so the elevator there is broken, nothing fixed in a couple of weeks, which is worrisome in itself. Was there another option to get down to the station without using the elevator?
Well, technically there's a bus from Nuns Island, but it's not running anymore at night, and it's not running anymore on weekends.
Uh-huh.
And even in the day, it's only every half hour, where before it used to be every couple minutes. So it's always jam-packed, so it would be impossible for me. I used to take the bus before with my scooter, like there's a RAM that goes out and so on, but now it's just impossible anymore. I could not even get on the bus. It's just so packed, and on weekends or nights, there's just no other option at all.
So what is how do you get to work during the day? What do you do?
Well, I've been on vacation for the last 2 weeks, but this week I'm back at work, and I have no choice but to drive to work. I could always take paratransit service, but it needs to be booked ahead of time. And, with the REM, I can just go anytime I want and leave anytime I want. It's freedom, or it's supposed to be. But my only option now, if I want to get the freedom to go around when I want, is to drive my car, which is, of course, expensive. And I want to take public transit. I don't want to have to drive to go downtown. It's ridiculous.
That was the whole idea, right? Listen, I'm curious. So, have you reached out to the REM at all about this?
Yeah, I did call the customer service about a week ago, and they did not have any information. Basically the only thing they told me was to take paratransit. They don't have any estimate on when it will be reopened. They don't have any other measures to propose. Like, for example, it would be great if they would set up a shuttle bus. This is what they do when the REM itself goes down. They set up shuttle buses. I think it would be great if they would set up a shuttle between Central Station and Nuns Island or other stations, but they don't want to commit to doing that either.
I said off the top when I did the introduction that we were told originally, right? I'm not sure if they made a big point about this, but the REM was supposed to be accessible to all. I mean, you must have been looking forward to that as well. You heard the same description, right?
Yeah, I was looking at the website, and it was like full accessibility and so on, which is not really the case with the metro system. So I was very enthusiastic to have access to a fully accessible mode of transportation, like this is the case in Vancouver, for example. So, in fact, I was there on the launch weekend. I was really enthusiastic. The first week the REM was open, I was taking it almost every day to go to work. It was good, and then it just ended. Yeah.
What with respect to the elevator? I mean, that elevator is under whose jurisdiction? I'm asking because I wonder if it hasn't been fixed in 2.5 weeks. What's the likelihood it's going to get fixed anytime soon?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's an elevator from the REM itself because it seems to be placed into the REM section at the station. So it's a new one. So I think it's the REM's elevator. And
they gave you no idea when it could be fixed, or timeline, nothing at all?
No, there's just no information. On the phone, I asked, do you have an approximate timeline or something like that? They didn't. No, there's just no information. No, we're kept completely in the dark.
Have you run into it? Do you have any people who, again, rely on it, who are, either motorized wheelchairs or whatever, people as well who you've reached out to or have reached out to you?
And not specifically, but I've seen a few stories on social media. Like, for example, there was this guy using manual wheelchair. He had to take his wheelchair with him on the stairs. It was a bit of a nightmare. When I took the REM, I saw a lot of, people with strollers, elderly, and many different folks needed to use the elevator, or at least it made their life much easier. But I don't know how these people can do without the elevator. It must be a nightmare.
Well, I wish, we've had a couple of situations today where I'm hearing stories from people. The other one was about education, where I'm sitting going, I wish I could help. I wish I knew what to do. In one case, it was about reaching out to the provincial education minister. But look, if you're reaching out to the REM, their customer service line, as you said it, and not getting any service back. I'm not sure what the next step is. Do you?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, I hope our political leaders hear this and start to put pressure on the REM, because it's a public service. Public service needs to be available to everyone. Otherwise, it's discrimination, clear and simple. So, there needs to be something that happens very soon.
I'm kind of in a situation where I say reach out to a local politician, whoever your city councillor happens to be. Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't done that yet. No.
I think that'd be a good next step. And then, because apparently they have a little bit more clout than you do, because calling customer service and not getting any kind of an answer, I'm a little surprised. You think the REM would have had that covered, but clearly they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So try a local city councillor. Where are you? You're at Nuns Island?
Yeah, Nuns Island, yeah.
You know who your city councillor is?
Yeah.
Maybe give that a whirl and see if you can get some info that way. And maybe what we can do, I'll have our producer Emily reach out to the REM and see if we can get a timeline on when that elevator might be repaired, or the fact, I'm hoping they know it's not working. They do that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they're aware
Okay.
of that, because it passed in the news a few weeks ago too, and then they said they wouldn't commit to a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can find out too. Okay, Julien, I wish you the best.
Okay, thank you very
Take
much.
good care. You're welcome. Bye-bye. There you go. So that's Julien Gascon-SAMSON. And again, REM, he moved, you hear what he said? He moved to Nuns Island specifically because he knew he'd be able to use the REM to get downtown to go to work. And now he can't use the REM to go to work. And there are no options. That's part of the problem here, right? There are no options. Once something breaks, it's as if all bets are off. Take the Parabus, but you have to call and make an appointment, and it's crowded. The regular bus is crowded. It doesn't seem right on so many different levels.